So, good morning, dear everyone. So, thank you very much, conference committee, for giving chance for me participating in this Sutin's Career TESOL International Conference. I am Nigina Misirova. I'm a doctoral student at the University of Warsaw in Poland. So today I will present you my presentation. My presentation is about modern approach in teaching English in primary schools. And the outlines includes introduction, research problem, and research methods and tasks. And the term innovations in English language teaching, modern approaches in teaching English in primary schools, recommendations, conclusion, and reference as well. So, as for the introduction, the teacher should be like the conductor of an orchestra, conduct but not play. Good teaching is impossible without good methods. That's why a lot of different ways of teaching were invented during a long history of school. Grammar translation method was initiated in the 15th and 16th of the last centuries, and spoken method in 1917s and 1918s. Teachers always try to use different methods in order to find the most innovative one, and the study relevance the issues of innovative and modern approach towards teaching English to young learners in the contemporary schools. And the main objectives of this study is to broaden the knowledge of innovations in English language teaching in primary schools in Poland and Uzbekistan. The goals of the research are to solve the main research problems formulated in the forms of two main research questions. First of all, what is the place and role of innovations in English language teaching in primary schools in Poland and Uzbekistan? Secondly, and what kind of innovations in English language teaching in primary schools are the most common in world and Poland and Uzbekistan. And the research is conducted through mixed method design elements of qualitative and quantitative research approaches. And the data will be collected using not only online questionnaire to the directed English teachers, but interviews and observations of experimental lessons and data analysis as well. And how we can understand innovation term and innovations in English language teaching and innovations in education. The word innovations derives from Latin word innovates, which means to renew and or change. But a lot of different scientific and research found the different connotations of about innovation. Innovation is a new idea or tool or a change. Innovation is a new pedagogical theory, or innovation is a new idea, practice, or innovation is using electronic technologies. And innovations in English language teaching, David Charles used it interchangeably with the term change. Examples of innovation in language education over the past few decades includes the follows, which pedagogical approaches such as a task-based language teaching, or secondly, change to teaching materials, and thirdly, technological developments such as the computer assistant language learning, and fourth, the last one, alternative assessment methods such as the use of portfolios. And innovations in teaching and learning can be perceived in the different dimensions for my study, and I decided to use modern approaches and the communicative language method, games and new technologies and interactive activities from the concept innovations in English language teaching in primary schools in Poland and Uzbekistan. Of course, as for the modern approaches, using modern approaches is one of the main concepts of my project, and you can see currently teachers can use constructive approaches and a storyline method, simulation approach, and task-based approach, project-based approach, and flipped classrooms and others. So as for the constructive approaches is one of the contemporary trends in teaching and learning, and this approach in teaching and learning is more student centered, which means that students are actively involved in the learning process. Of course, English language teaching and learning methods are seen to have adopted constructivist approach into their teaching and learning process when can be connected to the arguments. Students' awareness of their knowledge is possible with this approach. And Olsen argues that common perspectives of constructivism is a student's construction of knowledge, which basically is the language process that involves change. Since the constructions is a process of learning, teachers have a big role, like first of all to influence or correct motivating conditions for students, and secondly take responsibility for correcting problem situations, and third one foster acquisitions and retrieval of the prior knowledge, and the last one correct the process of learning, not to conduct of learning. And of course, with these constructivist approaches, the language teachers can use interesting and fun games in the language classroom. For example, you can see this picture, and this picture is about a new box language game. It's very interesting for young learners to learn language, and the teacher can use it as a group work activity or pair work activity. Pupils should find the picture by constructing boxes during this game. Each pupil should describe 2 or 3 sentences about this picture. And of course, next slide is about constructive approaches, and there are different different sides is about different pictures of their boxes, for example. And so the next modern approach is about scripts and storyline method. It's based on a combinations of planned learning meaningfuls, for example, shopping goods slaves and with the interests and the ideas of students. And this method does without textbooks. It's about creative planning, hypothesis selections, experiences, and presentations of work. This designed story also contains elements from drama or role plays. The teacher sets the framework for action and presents individual episodes, and pupils put their questions and find their answers to themselves. In addition, this method helps students to improve their speaking and memory. And the next modern approach is related to task-based approach, and this approach is related to communicative approaches based on the use of the tasks, real and pedagogical, as a central element for language teaching. And task-based language teaching is basically a theory of learning rather than a theory of language. It's the logical development of communicative language teaching. The principles involved are, first of all, actuators that involve real communication are essential for language learning. Secondly, activities in which language is used for carrying out meaningful tasks promote learning. And third one, language that is meaningful to the learner supports to the learning process. And of course, Simple tasks could be ordered in a restaurant, booking a hotel room, or buying something from a supermarket, or perhaps more advanced tasks like criticals, a cartoon or movies, and or asking something from classmates. With this approach, the language thought revolves around the task itself, not the other way around. For this method to work, teachers must understand their pupils' needs and expectations in order to design lessons that help their pupils' success. success. Um, with these task-based approaches, teachers also can use different interesting language games. For example, headbands game. Headbands games is very useful and fun for young learners to learn language, and also other games is related to crosswords or some of interesting puzzle teachers can use. So the next game is related to picture sentence game. It's also very useful for young learners, and teachers can use this game for young learners in order to develop their writing skills in the language. And so you can see this slide. So next modern approach is related to project-based approach. It means to address students' real needs by adapting language to the skills and competence they truly need personally or professionally. It's direct to developing language skills and creative thinking. And moreover, this approach is also innovations in English language teaching to activate pupils in the progress. Um, the main objectives of this project approach are, first of all, self-expression and self-improvement of students, increasing the motivations of learning, the formulation of cognitive interest, and secondly, implementations in practice of accurate skills, speech development, and ability to contemporarily and reasonably present the material under the study, to conduct a discussion debate, and third one, they demonstrate the level of culture, education, and social maturity. And that's all. And the last modern approaches is related to flipped classroom. Of course, today education is immersed in a technological revolution, and flipped learning is a methodology that helps teachers prioritize active learning during the class by assigning pupils to review lecture materials and presentations at home or outside of class. There are three principles of a flipped classroom. First of all, encourage pupils to prepare for class. Secondly, provide a mechanism for accessing pupils' understanding. And third one, provide a clear link between in a class and extra curriculum activities or outside of class. So that's all. And here you can see picture about the flipped classroom. And as for my recommendation, as teachers should be equipped with a high quality initial and in-service teacher education, and teachers should be aware of their roles as the guides and facilitators of their learners' learning. In order to facilitate the integration of technology, enough support and technical assistance should be provided for teachers. Teachers should use new and innovative and modern approaches in teaching English to young learners. Of course, as defined by Steve Jobs, innovation is the only way to win. The language teachers can use interesting and modern approaches in the language classroom, especially teaching English to young learners currently. And as for my conclusion, the findings of this study will contribute to the knowledge in the field of teacher education research, and they potentially provide helpful guidelines for foreign language teaching and learning process, especially for teachers who teach at primary schools in both countries. And the findings can be applied in the young learner classrooms to conduct effective and productive classes in the future. And here you can see reference which I used. And my presentation is over. Thank you very much for attention. If you have any questions, you will contact this email and I will try to answer your questions. Thank you very much.